Hello. I hate really long reviews, so I'm just going to give you my review short and sweet right now as I struggle with closing it. This is the Begin Planner by Christi Lukasiak, and I would rate this planner 8 out of 10. I would have loved to give it a 10 out of 10, but there were some slight issues, the binding being one of them. It's not as perfect as it should be, so a lot of times when you're flipping, you get stuck and you have to kind of work with it. The front cover, as I just talked about the binding, the front cover really absorbs any oils in your skin or sweat, so you kind of have to clean it. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but all of that, I cleaned it before we started this, and just touching it, fingerprints are everywhere. And then the last thing is a personal preference, so I didn't include this in my review rating, but the lines for where you write in the planner are quite small. So these are the lines, and if you write like me, which means you write like a 4-year-old, you write very large and in charge, and you need a lot of space to write very short sentences. I did a mock calendar for August just to see how it would work with my very large handwriting, and honestly, it wasn't terrible, as you can see, but it was kind of difficult to get a lot of information on these small lines, especially when it goes by 30-minute increments for the lines, and I don't personally like that. But again, I knew that's how this planner was set up, so I did not include that in the reasons why I gave it an 8 out of 10. The reasons why it got such a high rating for me, other than the binding issue and the fact that it just doesn't work for me as a planner that has detailed lists, which is what I like to do, is because this is so well thought out in terms of organization and getting your life together. So for example, before each month they have a monthly budget chart, and I was in love with that. I still am. I can't get over it. It is absolutely completely adorable. This is before every single month, so that's something that I never saw in a planner, because each month you have different expenses come up. Not every month is perfect. So that was great if you ever have a car payment that is higher because your insurance changed, now you have to switch your monthly budget. This just makes it streamlined. And then the next feature that I'm in love with is the fact that it has a to-do list before each week, but it switches it up from priority level. So it'll say not important, important, and then very urgent and not urgent. And that's super important for us corporate people, because we have tons of deadlines coming up. We have emails upon emails, and some of them are weeks away. Some of them we have to do that moment, and it's just great to separate those out. The greatest, I think, move that Christi made with this is the fact that it has the Boss Bitch Bible at the end, and that's where all the resources come from. See, this is what I'm talking about, the binding. It's a little awkward to move, but this is the Boss Bitch Bible. It has great resources about insurance. It has a pie chart for your budget of what you should spend. Honestly, this is just so inclusive of all the information you would need as a young professional or a college student. So that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. In the next coming planners, the only thing I would recommend is that they work on the binding. I personally think I'm going to get this rebound because it's just a little awkward for me. And then the front cover material, it's beautiful, but the way that it soaks up the oils on your hands, it's just not working for me. Even the back of it, it's that was perfectly clean before I just touched it, and I have clean hands. The packaging of this planner is to die for. It literally opens up and says, if I can ever get this open, your future, except it's backwards, I think, for you guys. But it had the most beautiful tissue paper. It's just so cute. I can't wait to show up to work with this planner. I'm gonna have to use my old planner again because I write very detailed lists, and again, I write like a small child who needs a whole page to write 2 sentences. So I'm gonna have to use my old planner, but I'm gonna use this for organization purposes. And if you can write like a normal human being, I don't think you'll have any issues with the sizing, but I do hope that when she creates further iterations of this planner that she'll create a more wide ruled version for people like me. But yes, 8 out of 10. I highly recommend. It's super cute, it's super modern, and I think it really fits the young professional of today, as opposed to the kind of boring planners that we have to tell you holidays, and that's about it. Oh, fun fact, there are amazing quotes and just little tidbits from Christi herself, and even Chloe made a quote in here. So that's super fun. It just makes everything like more bright. So that's all I have to say. Bye guys.